Do you ever wonder why marriage is so damn hard?
Well, today we're gonna talk all about it.
What's up, everybody? I'm Natasha.
And I'm Tristan.
Welcome back to our channel,
Livin LaGrande Lyfe. So I don't know about you, but it feels like ever since we've been doing My New Marriage Monday, like my news feed on all my social medias is just curated to like marriage and relationship topics.
100%. And the topics are very interesting, but I will say, as far out as some seem, they're very relatable. They do hit home in some kind of way. And they really do make me think.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I hadn't heard it put that way, or that's a weird scenario, but I get what's happening.
Yeah. And so, you know, this week's topic, I found when I was just scrolling through.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is a well-known person that I follow and I see often, but typically their content is more like social activism and
political spaces. Yes.
Yeah, but they are a very smart and intellectual person. And so, you know, the things that they say are usually really, when you think about it, like this is true. Like this right here might be the voice of the people, right?
Yeah.
So I want to get into this clip. I want us to watch it. Yeah. And then let's talk about it.
Yeah, for sure.
When people say relationships require work, what I've realized and learned is that the work that they're talking about is not really even work on the relationship. It's work on you. Because however you showed up is never enough. Because I mean, you didn't necessarily know what you needed once you got to the place, right? So then you got to work on you to get to the place that you wanted to be in. And that's what self-love is. Self-love is the attention that you give to yourself to allow yourself to experience joy. So when people say they're like battling their demons, what they're really battling is the trauma that they experienced becoming the person they are.
Ba-dum-bum, as she would typically say. Yeah, I want to dig deep into that, but I want to let you start, babe.
Okay. I agree wholeheartedly with that logic. It was three different parts in that video, so I'll start with the first part. In that, yeah, when marriage is hard, you gotta self-reflect a lot of times because of a couple of things. I think number one, people are forever growing and evolving and understanding themselves, and when you're single, you get to do that in your own space. So you don't have to battle yourself. You make a mistake or do some stupid stuff, even if it's for a while, you can course correct yourself. You're not going to scold yourself or have something to say to yourself about it or have to go into some deep reflection and communication about it. Versus when you are in a relationship, and particularly married, you're in this union where you do still self-reflect, but a lot of decisions and things you make, etc., is with your partner. So you make that mistake or you in that phase or whatever, it's with the person that you committed to, and they're looking like, yo, the hell is this? Right. When you do certain now what happens is when you have these conversations, if it's not the right tone, the right time, the right communication, this thing gets layered where it could derail the whole thing. Whereas before, if it's just yourself, you could just, like I said, course correct, keep it moving. And sometimes you got to swallow your pride. And when they talk about sacrifice, it's not just sacrificing your time or your things. It's sometimes your words and your thoughts, or you got to realign yourself, actually really open your ears to really hear what someone's trying to convey, even if it's not coming out correctly. And that is tough.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like, you know, something that she said that resonated with me was this idea of like self-love being the thing that helps you be able to experience joy and experience love and experience all of that. For me, it resonated heavily because when she said self-love is really sort of healing from the traumas that made you who you are today.
That was deep.
And I don't think enough of us really recognize how much we were shaped by our trauma. You know, like how many of us, our attachment style, and I think we should have a whole Mind Your Marriage Monday on that, how much our attachment style may not even be the attachment style we actually have, but the attachment style we develop as a consequence or result of the things that we experienced during the years that shaped our attachment style.
Yes.
And you know, we always got to bring it back to our relationship, even though we minding your marriage.
Yeah.
I think we have to mind our own marriage in this instance and use ours as an example. And maybe you could speak a little bit on how you dealt with navigating who I was when we started versus where I was along the way and then where I am now. You talk about a lot how when you met me, what attracted you to me was my confidence and my style and my fashion and all these things. And then we talk about how at one point that was like lost. The confidence, the fashion, or at least my expression of it changed.
Yes.
And you talk about that, and I want you to talk more about it, but like really how that impacted our marriage.
Yeah, no, that's actually a really great one for us to get into. Yeah, as Tristan mentioned, when I first met her and encountered her, it was an experience. It was definitely an experience for me. Just her natural demeanor, as we would call it, her swagger back in the day, her whole vibe, how she dressed, how she carried herself, this confidence in who she is, what she's willing to deal with, not deal with, her independence, like it all just exuded off of her. It was just very, very in my face. And I'm like, yo, this is fire, because I'm a really independent, pretty strong person, and someone like that is heavily attractive to me. And then I would communicate with her, and then her intellect and talking similar to these things that I noticed going hand in hand was like, hell yeah, right? And she carried that, like she said, for a long time, the beginning of meeting her and dating and being together. And then yes, there was a period then later on while we're married where that all of it was lost. Not just like one or two, all of it was lost. So the very things that brought me into her, now obviously not at that point, way more about her is what attracts me to her. That was what the initial reel me in, right? It did affect our marriage because I'd compliment her and she would shut the compliment down, and it would be on a consistent basis to the point where it's affecting me now. Like I feel a way, I can't explain it, but I feel a way every time. And I after a while, we keep doing it like maybe it'll help boost her up, and it wasn't. And I had to bring it up and have a conversation with her, and she just flat out went ahead and told me like, I appreciate it, babe, and I love you, but no matter what you say, it doesn't change how I feel about me. And I'm like, damn.
It's true. It's true. And I don't know if my eye is watering right now because there is something blowing in it. There must be. But like literally, I feel that even today, like, there was a point where I was like, baby, listen, she was starting to feel inadequate. Like she wasn't doing enough to make me feel a certain way.
Yeah, I was like, how can I make my wife feel as beautiful as she is? Her existence is amazing, it's gorgeous, but she does not believe me.
And I was just like, it's nothing. It took me a while to get there though. It took even some growth in there, but what Amanda was talking about is like that self-work.
Yeah.
It took self-work for me to realize it's not you, it's me.
But I'm like my ego even, which had nothing to do with her.
And that's her own self-work.
And that was me. So while she's self-working on not feeling her whole self, I'm having this self-work of, because she doesn't feel whole, no matter what I'm doing to boost her up, now my ego is breaking me down. Like I'm not
and
a good enough spouse.
The capacity to do anything about her ego in that moment.
Yeah,
I didn't.
And
I was just like, I don't know.
She didn't have the capacity, and I didn't understand how to navigate at first for a while this space until, and it's not something I never knew what I'm gonna say next, but to get to it in that moment was difficult. It was buried. Is that her happiness is hers. And she's gonna have to, but I'm just gonna continue to support her until she comes back, hopefully, into knowing her whole worth and everything.
Yeah.
And even that was not easy, because imagine telling someone damn near every day how amazing they are in everything they do. Like, and you just find little ways to do it, and they shut you down. So it's not like you know you trying to holler at somebody to get their number, and they telling you no every time. It's somebody you're with, and you're constantly uplifting them, and they knocking us both down.
Yeah.
It
was like I didn't believe it, or I was just like, you don't even got to do all that right now, because we all know this is some bullshit you spewing. You feel me? Like, that's how I felt. It was just like, stop it.
She would say things like, babe, you just love me.
You just love me.
I mean, I do, but this is true. You
feel that way because you love me.
Yeah, you're just saying that because you're my wife. Okay.
I think part of that is true, because she feel like because she's my wife, it's her role and her job to really sort of participate in my experience 100%. In a positive way.
I gotta gas you up because it's true.
And I literally felt like that's all you were trying to do was gas me up. And I was just like, girl, it's not the gas. It's something else. The fuel ain't pumping to the place it needed. The gas just sitting here. It's not actually doing nothing to fuel me, so just go ahead and relax.
I feel like the pump or the pipe or something that was connected to the gas.
We don't know nothing about cars.
But it had a hole in it.
The fuel injection.
It had a big hole in it. So all the gas that I was pumping was just seeping through the cracks.
Yeah.
It was not being retained to run with the power to move this vessel.
Yeah.
It wasn't happening.
It's crazy because that took a toll on our relationship in a way, that was really undescribable, because I kept thinking like, yo, how you mad at me for not liking me? I ain't say nothing about you. Yeah. I like you just fine. It's me. I don't like me.
But it was like a dark cloud existed over our marriage for a little while. Based off just that alone, like nothing else was the cause or going on, but more things came from that. It grew multiple heads.
Yeah, I agree. And this the thing, that wasn't the only self-work that needed to be done. So when you put that on top of all the other things that need to be done, it's weird, because when I think about it, I mean, we've been together 13 years and we've been married 7.
Yeah.
Damn. And I think just very recently, I started to get back to who I was. I can't never get back to who I was, because I'm not that same person anymore. Like when we met, I was 24, 25, something like that.
When we met, you were 23.
Yeah. And so, I had a different level of swag back then. It was like this, can't nothing harm me.
Yep.
I ain't have, I had responsibilities, but it was just me. You know what I mean? Like I had an abundance. My situation was just amazing. Yeah. And so I was a whole different person. I carried myself differently because my list of responsibilities and worries and challenges and all of that were I didn't really have nothing. It was just me.
She was killing the game. I was killing
the game.
She really was.
I
like there's 30, 40, 50-year-olds that would look at her in amazement.
Back then for sure. Yeah, for sure. It's weird because now I'm getting back to, in terms of that level of stability, because we went through a time where we struggled financially, which led to me really cracking down in terms of I ain't buying a damn thing. I ain't getting my nails done. I ain't getting my hair done. Don't ask me to buy no new clothes. I got clothes at home. You said this got a hole in it. We're gonna buy a patch for it. And I went into deep preservation, self-preservation mode, and literally completely lost everything else. I couldn't do anything else. Yeah. I could only think about how do we survive. Yeah. And that took a toll on me, because then you got to think about like, okay, if I don't got no money, I can't eat the way I like to eat, which means I done canceled the gym memberships. Now we just got to eat what's the cheapest. You know what I'm saying? Ramen noodles, hamburger helper,
sliced bread,
things that sliced bread. Butter, you feel me? Like we just eating what we can, and now I'm out of shape. And your girl is, at this point, I don't even think about being in shape no more. I'm just a shape. You feel me? And that's okay because that's just me. So I'm just a shape. Who cares about being in shape? And I'm just now getting to the point where that's okay. Where I'm comfortable, where I don't look at videos of myself and think, damn, your titties just sitting on your stomach. I remember when we first started 3 years ago, it was so hard for Tasha to edit because she would have to come to me every single frame to be like, you okay with this? Are you okay with that? Are you okay with this? This is showing you all right. And I'm at the point now where I'm like, baby, listen, I'm fat. And I'm gonna be, this is me. This is what I look like. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not even saying that to be like, you know, you just got to deal with who you are in the moment. Sure, that's cool too. But also, I genuinely love myself right now.
And I love it. When she's right. It was more recent, like in the last year-ish or so. And when it happened, you know how Scooby, or what's the dog? Yeah, Scooby on Scooby-Doo. I did that internally. I didn't want to do it out loud. I didn't want to start no mess. But I did it inside, like, New Tris, who this?
New Tris, who this? And I started wearing like two pieces.
Yeah, and I'm like, top, bring her back. I'm here for it. Let's go.
You know, my accessorizing got interesting. I started buying stuff again. I was still very cautious about. I'm not back on designer stuff just yet. You know what I'm saying? Well, sometimes
a little bit,
but not crazy. I balance budget and bougie. You feel me? I'm a bougie on a budget. You feel me? Because I also, one thing that I did not have when I was that age was vision. I did not have forward thinking vision. So yes, I had a lifestyle that was cool coming from where I came from, and for a 23-year-old, like taking care of myself, driving a brand new car, having my own apartment. If y'all knew what I've been through, y'all would know that at 23, that was crazy. Plenty of money in the bank. It was crazy. Yeah. And so at 23, but then at 23, I didn't think to myself, you got all this money in the bank, you should invest it. You should. I owned a home at 19 years old. I didn't think to myself, you should keep this, and this is something that could set you up. Keep it, figure out a way to fix all this that's happening around you, because that's an investment. I wasn't there. And so, you know, one thing I have now that I didn't have then is just vision and a desire to create something that is outside of me.
Yeah, I think that comes with wisdom and the times, right? Because we came from parents in a generation or generational era or so that it was go to school, build a life for yourself, build a life for your family, and set your kids up. It wasn't that create that long-term stability, that mindset, that understanding, right?
And I think that's crazy, because that sounds like your family's plan. My mama's plan was do the best you can.
Yeah, but even that era that they bought, that they, you know, all the sets of them came from, it was, you know, set your kids up right, you know, and build your life. It wasn't that long term. The term generational wealth is now would be considered a cliche term that has happened more and more over the last like 8 years or so. Like not even that long. I'm lying. Probably the last 4 years or so.
Yeah, I mean it was around, but now it's thrown around like confetti.
Yeah, but it wasn't around for us. People that look like us, the people that don't look like us, have been doing this, and we not even getting all that. We all pretty much know the history for a long, long time. It wasn't like that for us. So even thinking about having that vision, that foresight down the line. 23-year-olds today are definitely, it's in their face.
I was gonna say, if it was a thing, we didn't have access to it. We didn't have access to that kind of knowledge, that type of thought process, that type of vision. And so I think, you're right, 23-year-olds today they're gonna hear about it all over the place. Back when we was 23, I mean, my God, we were,
Facebook was elevated. I mean, Facebook came out when we were 18 and 17. Yeah. We were on the first version of it. Social media, before that we had MySpace, Black Planet. Black Planet was basically used for black people to hang out and date. And MySpace started to evolve the real version of social media. Facebook was keeping us, so we had to go through the evolution of access. So
you know, I guess to bring this, you know, full circle, it just felt like this video clip resonated with me so much, because I really do truly believe that partnership and the work that it takes for a partnership is more about the individual work than the together work. Because if you work on yourself individually, then you come to your partner with clarity and love for yourself and an acceptance of yourself. then you have the space and the capacity, the emotional and mental capacity to give a damn what they talking about. Because I feel like a lot of times in your brokenness, your brokenness creates a barrier. It creates a barrier where you can't even really be logical, reasonable, rational, because you are broken, and everything literally just the vessel. It doesn't have the ability to hold whatever it is that you are trying to bring to the partnership. Everything just spills out, just like you said. It just spills out.
Yeah. For me, and we're wrapping this up. In terms of what she's saying and the individual work, I agree with everything you're saying. The resignation for me, it's like I'm trying to resign on y'all. Is when you work on yourself to bring yourself to joy, you come to any situation with a totally different mindset, a totally different demeanor, a totally different aura,
outlook, perspective.
Not even that. Yeah, all of that, but an aura about yourself. Like your actual energy is good when you come to people, and it's hard for them to continue to be in whatever darker space that they're in. And communicate in that darker space, and you're less likely to be altered out of your joy by the things that individual is doing or saying or trying to put onto you. You can you don't have to even block the energy, because your natural energy is in a healthy place. When you are in a healthy place, that's a beautiful thing.
Yes, it's almost like you become a beacon within the relationship, and honestly even other spaces.
Yes.
You know, when you truly, I think that the self-work that needs to be done to create positive and effective and healthy marriage is the exact same self-work that needs to be done to create other relationships that we are building every day. Relationships with your family members and your coworkers and your friends and your customers and clients, and you know what I mean? Like all of that, it really does. And you realize how all of your relationships sort of, at least in mine, they sort of mirror each other.
Yeah, they do. So yeah, that's 100%. I ain't gonna go into that in detail, but that's 100%. That'll be another topic for another time, because that mirroring energy is real.
Yes.
So with the people around you, 100%.
Yes, absolutely.
So we hope you enjoyed today's My Your Marriage Monday. If this is your first time here with Livin LaGrande Lyfe, welcome. My bad.
I was quick on the draw.
Now that you're here, what should they do, baby girl?
Listen. Now that you're here, go ahead and subscribe. Yeah. We know you're going to love it here. So go ahead and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell. Ding. So you're notified when your friends LaGrande's post new content.
Yeah.
And while we're on the subject of content, did you like this?
Let us know.
What did you think about this topic? Do you agree that the reason why marriage is hard work, the work that goes into making marriage work, is self-work? I want to know what you all's thoughts are on that. And then let us know what else y'all want to talk about. We have been getting a few people, sending us, My Your Marriage Monday topics, and we absolutely love that. So if you all could just keep that up.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
We love it. Yeah, on this topic though, put your mirrors up. You gotta look at yourself. All right. We love y'all. We're gonna holler at you in the next video. Peace.
Bye.